Hi, Alice.
Hi,
Hi.
sorry.
No problem, no problem. First and foremost, I want to welcome Louisa and say this is a great committee, as you will see. And if you need any information from us whatsoever, just say the word. If you want me to slow down, in many cases, maybe speed up, just say the word. And we'll take care of it. Okay, we have attendance is taken care of, yes?
Louisa, you'll do attendance? Just mark down who's here. So Louisa, just FYI, Louisa, Alice, you didn't hear this. Louisa's the new HR generalist in the office. This is her
Oh.
first civil service meeting. And
Welcome.
She's great. She's fantastic. And she will be doing the minutes today. So it's her first time doing minutes. So we have to, help her along with the process.
And I know that you missed it, but prior to this, the discussion was that she knows more than Tom.
Now that it's officially on the recorded record.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I knew we had to get it on the record.
Okay, thanks. Let's take a look at December 14th minutes, and if there are any changes, I need a motion to accept.
Just to be clear, we do have a quorum on the attendance. When we took the attendance, we have a quorum. So
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and Barbara's here too now.
Oh, hi, Barbara. You snuck in.
Okay. So we're full. We're full. We're
full.
fantastic.
See,
What?
it's a great. Good job, Tom.
Louisa comes in and all the problems are solved.
Okay, I need a motion to accept the December 14th minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Second. All right, very good. All in favor? Aye. Raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Terrific, thank you. Next. General public, is there any, Bill, is there any general public anywhere?
If any member of the public would like to speak, just press the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. It does
Seeing
not
none.
appear that anybody has a comment.
Okay, well, if somebody jumps in at any minute, just let me know as we go forward here. New business, approve the eligibility list for the admin series 1, 2, and 3. Is this the change, Tom?
Right. This is so. Al, I'm not sure who was here when I mentioned it. So first of all, hopefully everybody got the package. We sent the package to you, right?
Yes.
And then we sent another package today, but the only change was we updated the admin series list. And Steve will go into why we made that change. But before he does that, just so everybody's on the same page, we created a few years before me, they created a one test per year for the majority of the admin type jobs, clerical, admin, secretarial jobs. And so we do one test, we create a list, and that list lives for a year. Or if we use 1/3 of the list, then we can come back to you to essentially end the list. So this is the one time a year test. It's a long drawn out process, and Steve and Louisa have been working nonstop on this for a few weeks now. And so it's finally ready to be provided. Steve, I'm going to turn it to Steve as to why we made the change from the list. It doesn't change the rank, it doesn't change the rank orders or anything like that, but it's a better clarification. Steve.
Yeah, so as Tom said, we were working, actually finishing up this test on Friday of last week, Louisa and I. So I put the list together on Tuesday so we could get it out. And I realized driving in this morning, wait a minute, I have people ranked 1 through whatever it was, 42, and there are ties. So clearly, right at the top, there are 2 people that should have been ranked 1, not 1 and 2. And so when I went back this morning and kind of looked historically over how these lists have been presented to the board, I realized also that typically we go out to decimal places. So the new list that you got this morning simply does 2 things. It takes the score out to 2 decimal places, which did break some of the ties. But where there's a tie, like at the top of the list, you'll see that both of those people are in rank 1, as they should be, because with this exam being equal weight to all 4 parts, there's nothing in the civil service rules that breaks the tie, and so the tie exists. So this list, then the difference between this list and what we originally sent out is 2 things. Number 1, the score was taken out to 2 decimal places, and then the ranks were corrected so that there's actually, I believe, 32 ranks, not 42, 37 ranks and not 42 because of ties.
And just so everybody knows, the test here is, we have an outside testing software company that we use. And so this is a very objective test. It is, you go in, you take the test, you get a score. There's
Right.
multiple tests that you take.
There are 4,
each-
there are 4
Right.
parts to the exam. We do a proof, and each part is equally weighted. So we take the average of and the score in each of the exams it goes to 100. We take the average of those 4 scores, and that's your final score. The 4 components of the exam are kind of the basics of office work nowadays. There's a proofreading section, there's a basic Excel, there's a basic Word, and then there's a basic Outlook section. And you score, again, as I said, from 0 to 100 on all those 4 pieces, and then they're equally weighted. So we simply take the average score, and that's the score you see on the list is the average for the 4 components.
Just for clarification, during this year in which the people on the list are eligible, if there is an administrator needed somewhere, they can come off this list.
That's correct.
And are we notified about that? Is that something that we know about, or is this just an automatic process that takes place during the course of the year?
It's an automatic process. We haven't in the past. We can, I mean, that's not a big deal. We could just, every time we take someone off the list, we could certainly let you guys know. But your part of the process is you told us how to do the tests.
Uh-huh.
And remember, you changed it from 5 people to 10 people being pulled off the list for this
Right.
one exam. And then, and now you approve the list. So that's really the board's function. But if you want, we could have Louisa take a note and send
No,
it to you guys. if
no.
you want.
I'm satisfied. No,
Yep,
no,
okay.
that's fine. I just was asking because I couldn't recollect being notified. Not that I need any more paperwork. Okay,
Yeah.
nope. Good enough. Thank you. Thanks, Steve, for explaining that to us too.
And my one last comment before I ask for you guys to vote on it would be that we were worried that we weren't going to get a large number because of, there's a big employment issue out there and hiring folks, but we were impressed with the number of people that applied.
Great.
So we're actually pretty confident in this list that this list is going to serve us well for the year.
Okay, terrific. That's good news. All right, so I need a motion that we are going to approve the eligibility list for admin series 1, 2, and 3. Could I have a motion? Thank you, Barbara. And a second?
Second it.
Okay, Willie or Alice? Okay. All in favor, signifying by raise your hand or say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you very much. Approved. All
Thank you.
right. We're going to move on to the next item, eligibility list for maintainer 3. Again, it looks pretty straightforward.
Yep, the maintainer 3 came before the board earlier in 2022, and the test does require, the minimum qualification is that you do work for the town. Currently work for the town of Trumbull, which everybody does.
Okay,
The test was divided 45% in experience and training, 10% for longevity, and performance history is basically a couple of elements around attendance and and your performance visa when overtime is required for snow removal and leaf removal and that kind of stuff. So those were the categories. Just one thing to note, the person who finished first on the list has resigned, having nothing to do with this list. He's making a career change, frankly. And that happened well after the list, well after the, we had started the test. So I put the name on the list, but and there really are only 6 people on the list.
And again, for clarification, so the next person on the list automatically gets the job, or is there a series of interviews?
No, there are a series of interviews. We will provide the top 5, which will now be numbers 2 through 6, to the department. They may have more than one opening, I believe. They have more than one opening, but they can then pick from the top 5 candidates. And if they have more than one opening, then they would actually get the 6th candidate as well.
Okay, terrific. Yep, very good. All right, I'd like a motion to accept the eligibility list for maintainer 3. Thank you, Michelle. And a second, Barbara, we'll say Barbara. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. It's going to be approved.
Thank you.
Next item. The mechanic equipment operator.
This one's gonna be a little bit
Go ahead.
different. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
golf course.
So
Little
this is a
different.
little bit different.
Right,
This is
I
the
remember the
position.
discussion. Mhm.
Yeah, this is the position at the golf course that requires some specialized knowledge.
Right,
We had only 2 candidates who at least met the minimum qualification, which means they had mechanical experience, mechanical repair experience. They both tended to have it more along auto mechanic than specific golf course experience. Although one candidate had worked at a golf course. So we went through the testing process, which consisted of an evaluation of experience and training based on their application and or resume if they provided one, versus the criteria in the job, right, which required experience in golf course and some additional some additional experience with the specific equipment, the mowers and the real mowers, and how you sharpen blades, and some things that are kind of specific to a golf course. And then we had the 2 candidates go to the maintenance facility at the golf course, and I oversaw a practical exam that was done by the head of the golf course and an outside expert from one of the companies that supplies equipment to the golf course. And they actually went over pieces of equipment with the individuals, asked them to identify how they would troubleshoot the equipment, or how they would go about sharpening a blade. There was a couple of, I think there was 3 or 4 items on the test. Unfortunately, neither of the individuals achieved the passing score in Trumbull that usually is 60. And so we will have to go out again to post. We are internally having some conversations about perhaps upgrading the pay scale, but that needs to be obviously negotiated with the union before we do that. But that's the story with this list.
So the unfortunate upshot of this is that we didn't get anybody in this round. And this is very reflective of it. We have found, and you've heard me say this before, especially in the more specialized categories of jobs, it is so hard to find people. It's kind of like we're in battle with everybody else for a small circle of people. So this is what happened here. We gave it a shot with these folks that didn't have a lot of great experience, and it just didn't work out.
Is there an apprenticeship or anything like that available to, through the trades or anything like that, as a resource that we could tap into for, I don't know how that works out, but I mean, it would seem to me that you got a limited amount of people. I mean, how many golf courses?
Well,
Oh,
that,
well,
I mean, this is,
quite a few.
yeah, this is really a particularly difficult one because not only do you need to be a mechanic to fix engines, but you've also got specialized equipment and, I'm
Yeah.
not sure how much everybody understands about a golf course, but cutting the grass as close to the ground as you do in a green requires the blades be precision blades. And when they're not, you're going to ruin something that is worth $100,000 a piece, right? In terms of a green. So it's a very specialized skill. And as you say, there's not a lot of places to learn it. We had that conversation, frankly, with the representatives from the equipment manufacturer who is got the same, he's got the same problem with all his customers have the same problem we do. We're hoping if we can raise the pay rate, we can attract somebody from another golf course perhaps, but there's no guarantee.
Well, what I was mostly thinking about is that the mechanic part, and I don't know anything about anything, but it would seem
Yep.
to me that the mechanic part would be easier to attract, and that the people who sell us the equipment would be willing to do the professional development about how to operate the equipment, fix the equipment, whatever the specialties are.
Well, I think that's
Um,
absolutely accurate, and it's probably going to happen no matter who you get for the position. But
Oh,
the concern with these two individuals was it just wasn't close enough
okay,
for the investment. I mean, that's the way they scored it.
okay. And I really got to say that I'm in awe of how the lengths that you've gone to get the right person for the job. So, okay. So we are not going to, what's the motion?
So you're
Tom?
actually, you are approving the list. The unfortunate part is you're approving the list of two people who did not pass. So you take
Yeah.
the motions to approve the list.
It doesn't say that on the agenda, but I wondered why it just said the name of it, but okay, so I needed a motion to approve the eligibility list
Yeah.
for mechanic equipment operator for the golf course. Thank you, Barbara. And a second? Thank you, Michelle. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Willie, you're knocked off there.
I'm not
Okay, all
opposed.
right.
but I'm in
No,
favor.
no problem, no problem,
Okay.
no problem. I just don't want to miss you. And no abstentions, I'm assuming. All right, so it is approved that we don't have anybody.
Thank you.
So now, is it automatic, Tom? Excuse me while I ask the question. Is it
Sure.
automatic, Tom and Steve, that you're just gonna repost the whole thing again, or does it have to go on the agenda, or how do we do that?
So no, so the way it's worked in the past and we're working here is that you've given us the approval. We came back with you, you failed our first list, so we'll automatically go back out based on the first approval.
Okay, okay, all right. I didn't know if we were gonna make it new business or something.
Yeah.
All right, very good. And the next thing is advertise, test, and recruit for non-competitive entry-level maintenance to Public Works. So
So this is
again, go ahead.
a weird one because we're not asking you to approve a test. We're essentially asking you permission to let us go out and advertise and recruit. This is the
So
entry level.
this is kind of the upshot of us having earlier this year, you having approved the maintainer 4, certified the maintainer 4 list, which we made promotions off, and you just certified the maintainer 3 list, which we are going to make promotions off. And earlier in the year, I believe you also approved the junior operator list, which we will make promotions off, all of which means we won't have anybody very, very soon. We'll have either one or two or nobody at the lowest level or the entry level for the highway department, which is in fact the maintainer too. So we need to go out and advertise for that.
So this is to make a parallel, this is kind of like the administrator's list, you know, you always need a list to pull from. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, except it's not a tested position. It's
Right.
non-competitive. So that means so the process will be very simple. We'll put the advertisement out there probably for a 3-week period, the posting up. I'll make a determination about whether or not the person has the minimum qualification. And the biggest one of course, is that they have a CDL, right? Without a
Right.
CDL, you can't do this job. So you either tell me you have a CDL or you're not going forward. And then everybody else, we will work with the department to do interviews and they will, have their experts make an assessment of talent. And hopefully we
Okay.
get enough people.
Okay, so we need, go ahead.
Sorry, and and the good news here is that, just to give folks a little background, for years, the DPW department, the Public Works, did not do any promotions. And so when George Estrada came in, George was determined to give a path of promotion to the employees because the morale was just in the toilet down there.
I
Because
remember those
have-
years. I
right, you have
remember
nowhere to
those years.
go.
Mhm.
So what you're seeing now is the difficulty we're going through is the great news of they're now moving up, right?
Mhm.
And so that creates the problem of there's no one in the bottom, but that's a fantastic problem to have.
Right,
So all credit goes to George Estrada and DPW and the DPW union, by the way, who worked together to make all this stuff happen. So I just wanted to
okay.
give them a public shout out.
Yeah, good. Okay, terrific. All right, I need a motion to advertise. Is the word test need to be in there? There's no test, right?
We just use the same language all the time, but yeah, it's really you're giving us permission to advertise and recruit.
Yes, okay,
And-
so
and
I need,
hire, essentially, yeah.
yes, yeah, I need a motion to advertise, recruit and hire a maintainer to highway and parks position.
Make a motion.
Make a motion.
Okay, all right. Thank you, everybody, for participating. All right, Willie, I'm going to take your motion. And Barbara, I'll take your second. Thanks. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Terrific. All right.
That's it.
Yeah, see, Louisa, how good we are?
Under a half
Right.
hour.
Yeah, right. Any questions, problems, concern, anything?
I just a quick shout out to say thank you, everybody, for showing up. I do really.
Yeah,
We have worked hard to get quorum and I do appreciate everybody showing up.
yeah.
I also want to give a shout out to Steve. Steve has jumped into the deep end of the pool here and done a phenomenal job of getting all these testing done. We've had an enormous backlog and Louisa is really been awesome too. So I just wanted to say thank you to Mike.
Yeah, yeah, you have two good colleagues there, Tom. Great. All right,
Well,
thank you, everyone.
So one thing I would say is, if there's any issues with the next scheduled meeting, let us know so we can move it if we need to, because I will have at least 2 lists to approve by then. I hope to have more.
Okay.
But we'll have at least 2 that should be ready to go.
March 15th is the next meeting. That's our schedule. Now, remember, we pushed this meeting back 1 week because it allowed Steve and Louisa to finish. the
Allow me to
series.
finish that exam.
So put March 15th in your brain. And so if there's an issue sooner rather than later, if you could let us know, that'd be great. Because then I'd rather just us choose another date and move on or go on with March 5th. So we're going to really, really try to keep these meetings going. I know I've been
Yes.
terrible about that in the past, but now we're going to try to do that.
Oh, you got all these great people now.
Well, and by the way, Marianne is still helping us, by the way. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
there you go. All right, very good. I need
Thanks,
a
everybody.
motion to adjourn. Everybody set? I need a motion to adjourn.
Yay.
Motion.
Okay, Alice. Thank you, Michelle. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay,
Thank you.
have a great day, everybody.
Take care. See you next month. If I could get myself to get off.